I should
So
just.
I do not remember my character.
Oh, you don't remember your character? All right. What do you need to know? Like name, the weapon, the like. What are you looking for?
Name and weapon.
All right. So you went under the name of Zoe Gus. She's a corporal. She runs a DMR class with medium armor and a light mech. You're a hacker with cloaking and active radar, exoskeletons. You have sticky grenades, a hacker chip, and infrared goggles. You're rocking a 50 caliber anti-tank rifle with a 4 times scope and a PEQ laser. It's like the little dot thing underneath the barrel. Then you have a pistol, and that's practically it. You have a knife, fire-resistant gloves, tactical weave boots, a flashlight on your helmet, and earpiece. I mean, you're practically the hacker of the group. You're the tech phobe. Tech phobe. That means opposite. Oh well.
Um, I was wondering, what's my main weapon?
Your main weapon.
Yeah.
I got 4 character sheets in front of me, so I gotta like shift through each one. You rock a Badger 7. It's a submachine gun, so it's a tiny little assault rifle practically, and it has a hand grip on the front of it, so you can grip onto the gun better for higher accuracy, and you have a silencer on the end of it. That's your like main weapon, and then you also have twin submachine pistols with lasers on them, and you're a blades expert, so you have a specially crafted dagger, which has an inscription on it, which you still have yet to tell me what the hell it is. But I'm pretty sure you'll tell us mid-story or something just for like that epic climactic moment.
Might just make it something like completely ridiculous, like the word Bob or something like that.
You could do it like Battlefield did and have a dog tag that's shopping list. It says milk, bread, eggs, blood of my enemy. All right, well,
All the things I want for Christmas.
yeah, right. So let's get this thing ready. Are you all ready?
Yep.
Marshall,
Yeah.
Tren.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all up. By the way, my girlfriend over here, do you want a specific name I want you to call you on the internet? Or do you just want to go by your real name?
Werewolf 3714.
You're trying to get me to remember numbers?
It's only 3714.
This isn't a slave camp. I don't remember people by numbers.
Well,
I'll just call you
Well,
werewolf.
Yeah.
Make my life so much easier.
Hmm.
Alright. Let's get this thing started, shall we? I wrote this part out so I could remember everything because this gets really detailed. All was fine in the galaxy for the last 400 years until political turmoil started to break out. The humans are attempting to obtain a seat in the galactic political head, which is not sitting very well with the other races who look after and see the humans as a quite young and incompetent group. We start our story in a war room in the man-made planet of Zarosk. Our unsung heroes stand firm as Captain Strauss walks into the room, who is also old partners with Marshall, his character. So you actually recognize him, but everybody else in the room doesn't.
One second. What was my name again?
Your name was Michael Roman.
Okay.
All right, gents. I have just consolidated with Colonel Zuber about why you're here. It seems to me the United Space Corps has... I'm trying to read this because it's like really freaking rubbed out. Pulled all he can get his hands on to deal with this hop. Situation is this. As of 0800, we just lost comms at Camp McCowell on Kraus. As we all know, the planet is a fucking desert home to an extremely prosperous settlement. It only took about 3 months before the whole city was formed. Well, later our forces built an AI factory on the outskirts of that city. Well, we thought it was just some kind of traffic interference, but we also lost comms with the city 2 hours later, along with the damn satellite array just minutes prior. We're being dispatched as a recon unit to investigate just what in the fuck is going on down there. Colonel expects us to get down there and have a report of the situation in the next 48 hours. We'll be boarding the USC Destiny in the next hour. You will be situated on board with a crew of 38 and will be carried up when we descend into the hot zone. Also, remember to follow the ROE. I don't want any corpses. I want intel. You're dismissed until the time being. Do we have any further questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Alright, so I take it you're all just gonna board the ship like ordered, or are you gonna walk around the war room? I mean, there isn't really much. The war room just has like a couple of maps and stuff, a couple charts.
Any maps of the surface?
Yeah, it practically looks like Afghanistan. You got a bunch of mountains popping off. You got a couple of major roadways heading into the center, which it's not a hologram. It's like an actual drawn out map, like what we have now, like a physical map. So you're seeing aerial footage, and it looks like there's a city on top of a giant hill with a bunch of overpass, like bridges and stuff leading into it.
Could I take one of the maps of the surface and take that to go, just in case?
If you really want a physical map, but you also have your OPAS system.
Okay, never mind then.
Like an OPAS, if you don't know, it's if you've ever played Splinter Cell, it's practically an OPSAT. It's a iPod that sits on your wrist, and if you played Mass Effect, it's the Omni tool. It literally does everything for you. But if there's a EMP or anything like that, it is electronic, so it can fail. So it's up to you if you want a physical copy.
Yeah, and the map wouldn't weigh much, so I'll take that map as well. If something interferes with the technology thing, the physical map would still work.
Yeah. Alright, so you all board the Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so scene 1 is already out of the way. That was just kind of a throw-in. Alright, scene 2, the Long Mile. About a day later, everyone is called to the observations deck as Kraus comes into the view. The city stands on what seems to be a large hill that collapsed in the center of a mountain range. Upon further inspection, the crew notices smoke billowing out of the city as the commander turns. "Where in the fuck is Misfit?" he yells out, screaming at everyone for his assault team. "Get switched on. We're Oscar mic'd as the scene in 5 mics. All hands stay on board until we hit orbit. And until I give the order otherwise. DZ point is there." He points at a large hill just north of the city. "We insert there and hover about 5 clicks into the AO. The canyon is just big enough for a safe dropship landing. If we stay on the move, we should be in the AO about 2 hours." So, like, you're all standing on the bridge. You got a bunch of guys on computers typing away. You're looking through this giant, like, window as you see, like, a desert planet. You got the smoke billowing out of the town, and the commander's just, like, barking out orders, and you're all just standing in a line. So if you're going to, like, talk to any of the crew, or if you're just going to get into the dropship, like, the captain ordered so he doesn't yell at you.
I guess I just got into the dropship.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Trinity, are you going to start shit, or are you going to get on board?
just gonna get on board for now.
For now. Alright, I'm looking into my pictures right now. Alright. Alright, so everybody gets on board, and the commander gets on. Here's a picture for you guys to look at. How come it's not sending? I'll just do it like this then. Yeah, I got a lot of pretty pictures for you guys to know, so they actually really help with nailing what the scenery looks like. So this is the side of the dropship. You guys are starting to land into the onto the planet as the shuttle door opens up. And that's kind of what it looks like, because the orbit, you can see the stars right now because it's just entering day. Alright, so as you sit inside the large 12-man dropship, the commander sits by the door and straps into his harness. Pilot, this is a one-way flight until I state otherwise. If this is some kind of disease, I won't let it leave this planet, he yells out as the pilot jumps through the atmospheric wall with a loud crack. The commander then unstraps and opens the side door, roaring out into the city. Jesus Christ. Bug has already capsized the city, he announces as he looks at the city it practically looks like a sinkhole, and there's burning fires raging from multiple buildings. Alright, so remember this entire ROE. We are probably not alone. Population is slightly over 1.7 million. So civvies may still be alive, so watch your fire if we do have to engage. The dropship hovers 10 feet above the DZ as the commander jumps onto the ground. Upon landing, he waits until the squad bails, and then he yells out, 360 perimeter now, we gotta lock this down, stay low. So he jumps out of the dropship, and he's doing his combat maneuvers and shit, getting cover. So, are you guys gonna pile out, or are you gonna stay in the bird? What's going on here? How are you guys getting out of that chopper?
I got out and prepared my weapon just in case.
Are you running straight to cover, or are you just getting off as quick as you can, and like, what exactly are you doing to get off?
I guess I just can you jump off?
Yeah, you're 10 feet above the ground. So I mean, you can jump. You might have an issue with balancing, but again, that's just a really easy roll.
Is there any, like, ropes or anything we could use?
No, it's 10 feet off the ground. You can jump that easily.
Yeah, I just jump and stay vigilant, like look side to side to see if I can spot anything.
Alright, so you jump down because you're the second in command, and you're taking charge practically. You jump down, and as soon as you hit the ground, you kind of do like a little bit of a combat roll, because when you hit, you stumbled, but you managed to roll and keep your momentum going. So you're out, and you're not really in cover, and you're kind of all shooken up still. So you're kind of not focused, but you're staying up. So who's bailing out next? I take it Werewolf, because she spoke.
I am bailing out. I am taking cover.
Alright. Alright, where's your character sheet? Oh yeah, you make it out just fine. You dash behind a couple of rocks in the canyon. Oh yeah, and I didn't specify that. You guys are literally like dropping in on a road in a canyon. It's kind of like a gorge. So, Werewolf, what are you doing? You're the last one in the bird.
I'm gonna bail out too.
Weapon drawn, or are you just gonna step off? Because by now the bird's already landed damn near.
Well, I'll just step off, I guess.
All right, you step off, but you kind of got like a little bit of a shaky balance, but you make it off. You kind of got like a sassy stride too as you're walking off. Like you're not even looking military. You're not like getting off and weapon drawn, running all over the place. You just like step off casually, like whatever. All right, where's the paper for dialogue and all that? No. All right, get switched on. We are Oscar Mike to the scene. 5 mics. All hands stay on board and in orbit until I give the order otherwise. Oh wait, I already read that. What the hell? This is the paper I want. Alright, after the dropship flies off, the commander rises and runs upfield with his AR, scanning the area. So he was laying down behind rocks. Now the bird actually lifted off and flew off just like light speed, just poof, and it was gone. So you don't see the sucker no more. You're left behind, and it was a one-way flight. He ain't coming back until he's told by his boss. Alright, so he gets up, he starts scanning the gorge line and all that. He's still staying low in that military style stance. Alright, it's gotta be a long road ahead of us, so let's just keep moving. And he kind of like gestures for everybody to move forward, and I take it you all move forward. I'm just gonna take it for granted. So, is there gonna be a specific pattern in which you guys are walking in? Like, are you just gonna walk in a line behind the guy, or are you gonna walk in a staggered stance?
I'm just gonna walk in a line behind him.
I'm just gonna walk wherever I want.
Alright, so you're
I'm
just
gonna-
gonna be off.
Yeah.
What was that, Werewolf?
Oh, I was gonna see if I could like get out my weapon and then walk with him, like behind him.
Which one? Your 7? The submachine gun you got? Or the pistols?
I'll take out my pistols.
Alright, so you pull out 2 giant-ass pistols with fucking lasers shooting out of them. By the way, you can turn those off if you don't want to give away your position yet.
Yeah, I kind of want to turn those off too.
Because you turn those off and you shine them at somebody, they're going to be blinded by them. Alright, do I have any pictures right now I could show? Damn, I can't see the... I actually got to go into my stuff here. Anyway. Alright, so... This is upon entering now. As you advance with the commander, the path slowly forms into a freeway, and the city starts to come into view, and you're standing on an abandoned overpass looking at the sunken, bombed-out city. So you're standing amongst a bunch of cars on this bridge, practically. It's an overpass, so you're all on a bridge. There's no like overhead cover, and the city is in view. Bunch of cars, they're all bombed out. There's no people in sight, and the commander's just kind of like walking ahead of you guys. And perception checks. I gotta roll multiple d20s. By the way, I didn't specify this yet for you guys, but there's another guy in the group that I wasn't really talking about. There's a 5th soldier in the group, Pete Harris, and I'm practically playing him. He's an NPC that's just kind of in your squad for the hell of it. I had an extra character sheet for default, and I decided I might as well use it. Okay, so what's the thing here? Alright. So, nobody sees a damn thing. Except, Werewolf there, she actually notices something, which I'm gonna specially type to her. Because I like to avoid metagaming.
What about my what is it, a scanner or radar kind of thing? Would that pick it up?
You're not seeing anything.
Okay.
And if you're looking at your scanners and radars and shit, you wouldn't even have to tell me that you're using it because you'll instantly hear a beep. I'll straight up tell you.
Okay.
And by the way, Werewolf, you can tell them what you saw. You may want to like actually physically say it.
Oh. Well. Like, I seen a words. Seen a white light coming from the 7th floor on a building. So I think we should get down because it's a sniper, I'm guessing.
Okay, you all hesitated.
Well,
So
I got down. I don't know.
as you keep advancing, the commander keeps on walking, scanning the area before taking a knee to contact headquarters. Boss man, this is Misfit.1 Actual. Do you read? We are making our insertion to the city now. Please be advised the city appears to be hot with unknown contacts until further investigation. Over. And then... Alright, you hear a crack come from the buildings ahead of you, and then you just see the sergeant fall to the ground. Just bah! And he falls over, and he starts holding himself. And now everybody gets to roll another perception check. Oh shit, I shouldn't have fucking said that. Because I just spoiled the highest perception check. Fuck! Yeah, the perception checks was 1 to 8, you hear nothing. 9 to 11, you hear a loud crack. And then 12 and above, you notice that the commander's been shot. Well, I guess you all know what happened now. Alright, so... Oh, wait, I can still roll the perceptions. Because I got extra perceptions. Alright, so none of you know what the hell happened. Yeah, none of you know what happened. Alright, so Pete, he takes his ATR 50 and then he plants himself up on a car. And he puts his rifle resting it right on the hood of the car, and he starts scanning the buildings, keeping his head like ridiculously low to the car, because he knows what the hell is going on, but he doesn't know where the hell is going on from. All he knows is he heard a crack, and the guy taking charge is down. What are you guys doing?
Asking around to see if anyone's got like a med kit or something that we could take care of the general for. Anyway.
I guess I'm prepared with my longer ranged weapon and trying to remain vigilant.
Alright, so you pull out your ATR 50 with its 8x scope and you start scanning the buildings. Are you like visually looking for him right now?
Yeah.
Like, is this a full-blown attack? Alright. And because you're actively looking, I'll give you a bonus modifier on that. By the way, you do realize you, Trinity, and yeah, you and Trinity both have cloaking, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So you start scanning the buildings, and you're not really seeing much. You're seeing into the windows now because originally the mirage was blurring your view, but you're actually seeing into the windows now, but you don't know where exactly to look into. I wonder if I can find... Alright, that's not it. So what are you guys doing?
I'm still trying to see if I can find anybody, or if I can find the sniper or whatever.
What's everybody else doing? You all just keeping your heads low, or are you looking around too?
I'm keeping low.
What did
Yeah,
Werewolf say?
I'll keep low too.
Alright. So, Marshall's still looking around. Yeah, the mirage is kind of like getting to you again. You're having a hard time seeing, you're sweating. And next to that, your sergeant, well, not sergeant, but your, Jesus, I forgot what his rank was. Pretty sure it was lieutenant or something like that. You can tell it really doesn't matter to me. The commander, yeah, the commander. He was, he's just screaming and is breaking your concentration.
Wait, I chose out the med kit, correct?
Yeah, you have a med kit.
Oh, could I try to help him?
If you can get over to him. He's about, I'd say, like 18 feet from you, 20 feet away from you. But you gotta, like, get past a couple of open spots to get to him. Like, you're behind a van right now, like a cargo van on the right side, posted up on the doorway. And then werewolves to your left, up ahead, hiding behind a car. I'm just going to call you Trinity, whatever, you don't care. Trinity's tucked up behind an ambulance, and then he's pinned down behind a freaking, the divider. Like, he's on the other side of Werewolf, so if anything, she's closer to him than you are. You gotta go past two open spots to get to him.
Could I toss the medkit to Werewolf?
Yeah, but she isn't trained in the medical profession, but she can still make the checks. She just won't do very good at it.
I guess, could I turn invisible and try to sneak over to him to try to do that stuff?
Yeah, go right ahead. Just remember, it uses your battery.
Am I at risk of getting shot if I go without the cloak?
Alright, I'm gonna kind of meta game here. But yeah, there's some technology in this universe that can see through cloaking, but in most cases, no. Nothing will really see through it. Like, they gotta have special technology for it.
Okay, so I guess I'll use the cloak anyways to try to sneak over without having to worry about and try to get the medkit to him.
Are you running over there, or are you just kind of like walking over there?
Since I'm so heavy, and probably to keep stealthy, I guess walking.
Alright, good. Alright, so as you're walking, you end up actually tripping. You ended up tripping on a toolbox laying in the road, and you knock over a not a pine cone, but a traffic cone. But the sniper doesn't notice, and you get over there. So now you're right next to the commander. He's kind of like grabbing onto you because he can see through the cloaking because he's that close to you now. But he's got blood in his eyes, and you don't know where he was hit. You just kind of know that he's kind of panicking. So
Do I have any? Do I have any way to like
diagnose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can diagnose it. You just gotta make a perception check.
Okay.
Ch-
Yes.
ch- Oh yeah, and he's bleeding right now. And like in the stats, he's actually bleeding. So every turn you guys use, he's dying slowly.
Yeah. You should probably try.
All right, so you notice that he's actually shot right below the hip, right above the thigh, on his right leg. So he's probably gonna walk a little funny if you actually do patch him up, and he'll survive the wound. It's just he's gonna be on low hit points. But you might want to actually patch him up because he won't survive that wound if he doesn't have enough adrenaline to keep him going.
Yeah. Do I have? Oh wait.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have a
do I
medical
have
kit.
something to patch him up? Yeah. So I patch him up.
Yeah, it'll take you a minute or two, but you can do it.
Okay.
Alright, so he's over there trying to perform freaking surgery on the commander while there's a sniper bearing down on you guys from what you know. What are you guys doing? Girls doing fine. Gosh, that makes such a big difference. Trinity over there's like dead silent. Hello, you two. Girls, I'm telling you, they don't like streaming hardly ever.
Well, I'm gonna try to get closer to the building.
Alright, so you're like, I don't know, 7 miles away from the city.
Oh.
So if you want to take a really long turn and probably give up all of combat,
No thanks.
like, I mean, this is D-Day type range.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that.
I mean, you can get closer to the city, but you're not going to get to the city by the time combat ends. And by the way, I didn't tell you guys to roll initiative, so technically there is no combat.
So what exactly is our options then?
Whatever. Your options are limitless. You can do whatever the hell you want.
I'm gonna stay down then.
What's Trinity doing? Knowing her, she's probably making a sandwich right now while we're gone.
Actually, I am not Irish, but I actually start walking to the city. I'm walking there.
You're literally just gonna walk out in the open.
Yep.
Alright, so she just stands up right out of cover and literally just starts walking. Nothing happens. She's literally like freaking, I don't know, 50 feet ahead of everybody and nothing's happened yet. 60. 70. Now she's hidden behind a couple vehicles. Yeah, you guys don't see her anymore. She's literally just walked out without you guys. And by now, Marshall's already kind of got a tourniquet wrapped around this guy. He's got some, anesthetics pumped into him. So the commander's kind of like all drugged up, but he's getting up on his feet now. It's nothing heavy, it's just enough to stop the pain. I mean, it's not like morphine or anything. So what are you guys doing? You just realized Trinity literally just walked off on you guys. The commander's looking around like, what the hell? How come nobody's eliminated the threat yet?
I guess I use the scope to try and where Trinity ran off to.
Alright, I'm not even going to roll for this. You don't see her.
Okay.
She's literally walked that far ahead that you can't see her without vehicles being in the way. But you know this, you didn't hear a loud crack yet, so you can assume that she's pretty fine and dandy.
Okay.
You guys just, like, chilling.
Oh. I can go if you guys want.
Werewolf's just like, alright, I'm just gonna let these guys handle the situation. I'm gonna hide behind this car. See, the thing is,
Well, no.
I'm not a wuss and I'm hiding. It's more like, I'm the smart guy. I'm gonna let you guys die first so I can draw their fire.
Eh. Well, I guess I'll just go look. Well, I don't know. I really want to go, like, take out the threat, but I'm not sure.
Well, just saying, at the range in which you'd be shooting at, it's literally impossible to hit. None of your weapons are powerful enough to shoot that far.
So even if I did spot him with the
No, you can. Just she can't, because she's got a submachine gun and a couple pistols. She's close range. If anything, Trinity and freaking, yeah, Trinity and you are probably the only two that actually have weapons strong enough to shoot that far. Oh yeah, and Harris, Pete Harris, he'll be able to shoot that far, but he doesn't see any threats.
I guess since the commander is doing better, I continue trying to scope out and trying to locate where the sniper is.
Alright, so you start scoping around. And you literally see nothing. The mirage is just freaking, right in your face. Because you're so used to looking at the blood and gore of the wound that you're just performing surgery on, being that close to your face. The moment you look away at long distance, you're still trying to adjust to it. And Harris, he literally just dropped his rifle. He doesn't even care anymore. Like, he was aiming down the sights, looking around, but he just lowered his weapon and started walking off with Trinity. Like, he figures at this rate, if she hasn't been shot yet, there's really no threat anymore. That sniper's probably long gone by now, or he's really taking his time. By the way, in all actuality, this has already been 5 minutes. Like, in-game time. That's how long you guys have been sitting there on that bridge. And only one shot has been fired.
I guess I follow Timey's lead and start heading towards the city.
Alright, you just gonna walk, or are you gonna, like, try to jog up to keep up with her?
Jog, I guess.
Alright, so rattle, 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 rattle. Because your armor kind of has, like, a padding sound, and then you got grenades that are kind of just, like, jingling on your belt and shit. So, Werewolf's just kind of, like, standing there, looking around right next to her van. Well, her car, but it's right next to the van. And the commander's just like, what the fuck? You're all just walking off after a bullet just whizzed right through me? What the hell, guys? Anyway, he just starts walking. He's like, if the rest of the squad's moving, I might as well just advise them.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him.
Alright, and then Harris kind of like cuts you off and starts walking. He's that one douchebag that doesn't let the ladies through the door first.
Eh.
Alright, so turn the paper over. Alright, so as you enter the city, you notice bodies piled up in the streets of multiple different races and ages, some armed and others not. As you scan the area, you notice the road ahead of you is covered in rubble. And the commander kneels down and finds one of the men has a reserves patch. He's militia. Civvies went down fighting too. We need to find Fort Stoddard and find the garrison troops. Fort is on the other side of the city. Most direct route is past the city square. He leans into his radio. Boss man, this is Misfit Actual. We have made our insertion into the city and encountered an enemy sniper. Whatever happened here, slaughter the population. Fuck! He looks up and scans the skyline. Let's get the fuck inside. This area is still hot. Whatever caused this attack obviously doesn't want it noticed. There's a jammer blocking up outside comms. My guess is on top of the ISR stock exchange in the city square. That's the only building that could cover up this whole damn city. So he kind of just like backs into a little alleyway, and then he kicks a door open and walks inside the building, and he starts scanning around in there. And you're all just like on the street. You got a bunch of charred up bodies and stuff just littering the rubble because the buildings are all blown apart. Hold on, I might be able to find a picture for you. Nice, pretty picture. I know you guys love those. Here we go. That's kind of what the city's looking like right now.
Uh.
Yeah, but that, like I said, you guys are on the outskirts. You're still kind of walking into it.
I guess I follow the commander inside.
Alright. So you kind of breach in. Just kind of... is your weapon drawn, or are you just following them?
My weapon's drawn, but I switch over to the pistol since I'm going inside.
Alright, so you throw your AR over your sling on your back, and then you pull your pistol from your hip, and you start scanning the room, pieing it like a freaking police officer. By the way, do you have your laser on?
Oh, no, I have that turned off, I guess.
Alright. What else are you guys doing?
I'm gonna follow him in.
Alright. So you walk in. I would assume the same way everybody else is at this rate. I'm not going to ask everybody how they're going in. I just expect you guys to be descriptive, but that ain't happening very well.
Hmm.
By the way, the building he walked into, like, it's like a city building. How there's like the corner part of the building he walks in, it's like a back door. He just kicks it open, walks in, and then you got Marshall walking in, pieing the room, because it's a wooden door to a like bricked up building, and it kind of looks like a shop because from the front it has like rounded out windows, like a display window with a couple mannequins, and Trinity's just kind of like standing out there at this rate because she hasn't said anything, and Harris, he gets right up on the corner of the building, but he doesn't enter the building. Instead, he kind of like aims down sights and scans the buildings above as Trinity's just standing there. He's kind of like watching her back. take it Trinity's tripping out on one of those like PTSD episodes.
No, I'm not. I'm actually waiting for a chance to talk.
Uh-huh. You could have just unmuted the mic and I would have stopped.
Yeah, sure.
Well, now's your chance to talk. Freaking say something.
No.
Don't make me pull some magical DM shit out of my ass. You know I will, too.
I head inside the building.
Alright, so she just kind of like meanders in there like, whatever. You guys are kind of boring me at this rate. And Harris taps her on the back as he's practically one-handing his AR at this rate. I don't know how the hell he's carrying it like that, because that's a 50 caliber assault rifle. So he's like, whatever, I'm Rambo. Tap, tap. And then he like walks in behind her and then closes the door. Alright, so you're all inside, and the commander's kind of scanning the room, looking up in the rafters. And then he, there's a blown up hole in the wall, and he jumps through it into the next building. He starts scanning that, and you're all kind of just like column formation, weaving through. Because I would suppose you guys are all kind of following him.
I decide to stay back.
Alright, are you staying back with Harris, or are you staying behind him?
I'm staying back with Harris.
Alright, so you're in front of him.
I'm gonna stay back too.
If the first floor, I guess I'll go to the second floor, if there's a second floor, and start looking up there.
There's no second floor in this building, but once you go through the breach in the wall, when you turn right, because you're in another alleyway, if you turn right, there's one of those outdoor alleyway staircases leading up the buildings.
Okay, I go there then.
Alright, so you climb the ladder and you kind of like do a zigzag up the stairs. How many floors are you going up? It's a 4-story building.
I guess I'm just up to the second floor for right now.
Alright, so Marshall's splitting the party. He goes up there, and I take you still have your pistol drawn? Or are you switching to something else? Alright, so your pistol's drawn, you stack up on the door, and I'm just going to leave you there for now, because turns. And the commander keeps walking. I assume you guys are following him.
I am still staying behind.
Are you staying behind as in you're just standing there, or are you staying behind as in you're following but you're keeping your distance?
I am following, but I'm keeping my distance.
Like, you guys kind of need to be a little bit more descriptive in terms of what your actions are.
I guess I'll follow, but I'm gonna have my my bigger gun out. I'm gonna put my other ones away, I guess.
Alright, so you draw your submachine gun, start looking around. What attachments do you got on there?
Could I get a drink of water?
Certain hand grip. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna go get a drink of water too. And Pete's still staying behind you because he's got the tactical column idea in his mind, so he's kind of scanning behind you guys, making sure that nothing comes up behind you. And I'm gonna go get a quick drink of water.
Okay, back.
Graham just left to go get a drink of water as well.
Come.
All right, I'm back. Is Marshall back yet?
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't Trinity just go?
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, I was about to say she probably just muted her mic.
Oh.
So you guys are into the next building now. And Marshall, how are you entering the building? Like you kicking the door down, you're gonna slowly open it.
Because if it's not stuck, I just open it.
All right, so you just casually open the door. All right, so you just open the door, and you notice. All right, you walk in and you notice that the building is kind of shelled out a little bit, like the walls blown off, and there's a bit of rubble kind of sliding down the building. The room is kind of in disarray. You got clutter all over the place and all that. It practically just looks like a typical war zone. But across the way, the doorway to get to the next building is kind of collapsed. So you're gonna have to either go down the slope into the main street or backtrack the way you came. Unless if you go right, there's a bathroom there that's been blown inward, and you can just jump down through that.
I guess I go through the bathroom and go through that.
All right, so you jump down there, and the oh crap! All right, so when you jump down through the bathroom, you actually land right next to the commander, and he turns, and then he just bashes you upside the head
Oh.
with his rifle, just bah, and then you kind of crumple to the ground from the hit. And then he
Oh.
points his gun right in your face, and he starts screaming until he realizes who the hell you are. Because he wasn't expecting you to come out of nowhere. He thought you were all on the line. Alright, so, Werewolf just kind of like watched this happen, and Trinity is just kind of like looking out the window, scanning out there, and Harris is watching the other building that you guys originally came from, so they didn't really see it, but they heard the scuffle, so they're turning to see what the hell's going on. They just see the commander putting the gun in the guy's face. I'm trying to remember what the commander's name was. I think it was Zuber. Where's my... No, it was Captain Strauss. Like Levi. Alright, so, you guys just moving on to the next building?
I might ask what happened.
He practically just tells you what happened.
Yeah.
He tries to make it look like he wasn't obeying orders, though. Like he tries to pin the blame on Marshall for fucking up and how he's not being freaking uniform about things and how it was all his fault. He tries to make an example of it. He doesn't try to like take the fault for it for engaging the wrong person. Yeah, honestly, if he hit a civvy like that, then like picture somebody from the Philippines getting hit like that. Yeah, they wouldn't have survived that hit. They would have just
Oh.
collapsed. That's how hard he hit him. It was hard enough to snap somebody's neck if they didn't see it coming. Alright, so I'm just gonna assume you guys are weaving to the next building.
Yeah.
By the way, you
Yeah,
guys.
I'm moving on to the next one, but I'm still keeping my distance away from the group.
What was that?
So I'm still following, but I'm still keeping my distance away from the group.
Alright. So. I'm just not gonna like. I'm not gonna say every individual building, so I'm just gonna say in the interest of time. Because you're literally gonna be weaving through buildings for like the next 15 minutes, so. I just kind of wanted to go through a couple buildings just for a narrative. Alright, so give or take another, I don't know, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. You guys actually get towards the like more central part of the town. Alright, so you're all stacking up outside of this building now because you had to cross the street. And you're right outside of a bar. The commander kind of like taps on the door because he thought he heard someone inside, and then he opens the door, walks in, he starts aiming around. Nothing. Again. And I suppose you guys pour in.
Yeah.
I follow in with my weapon ready.
Which one? Your pistol?
So
Alright. And I take it Trinity's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm still doing the same thing I was before.
Alright, well Harris isn't. He actually walked off in another direction. Alright, so you guys all kind of walk in. Alright, so as you end the near of the bar, you notice outside is a large open heart of the city. So like on the other side of the building, right behind the bar, because you enter the bar through the front, and in the back there's the actual bar itself. The wall's blown out, and once you look out the back, it looks like Tiananmen Square. It's just this giant open area, and there's like a little road in front of it, right behind the bar. Well, there she is, Tavash Square. You see the compound right next to the archives? That's ISR. The commander stands up and begins to peer outside. Provide overwatch. We're going to move in pairs. Who volunteers?
I'll volunteer.
Alright. So, you and him, like you stack up right behind him. And he steps outside and peers around, scanning the area. I'm going to make you roll. Alright, so you feel something's off, but you don't notice anything in particularly. And, yeah, the commander actually peers up, and then out of nowhere, a giant synthetic man drops from above and ends up stomping right on his neck, killing him instantly. And then he turns around and looks right at you. So now is when initiatives are being rolled. So it's just you and the robot right now. And then on the next turn, everyone else will get their licks in. So bot rolled 8. You rolled a nat 20, so you get the instant sleight of hand. I need a paper to write all this down on. Bollocks. I'll just write it down on the back of this paper. Where's my pen? Right here. Now I'm going to roll for everybody else. All right. Initiatives are made. So you get the first attack. If you're going to attack. You're literally like 3 feet away from this thing. It's literally right on the other side of a room from you. You're looking right into its eyes. It's glowing red like a Terminator.
I think I'm gonna attack it.
With what? Like how exactly?
With the machine gun I have out.
Alright, so you try to raise your weapon as quick as you can, and my screen just turned off on me. There we go. Had to shake the mouse. Alright, so to hit, you instantly hit. How many rounds you firing off? Like, you just gonna dump your whole mag on this thing, or are you gonna fire like 1 shot, 5 shots?
I'll go 7.
You got a 30 round mag, so you gotta keep that and. Alright.
Okay, I'm gonna go 7.
So you got a 7 round mag. Alright, so you hit the target. Where exactly are you aiming? Just anywhere, specific spots?
The head.
Alright, so you raise this thing, and you fire from chest level, and you let the recoil of the gun rise upward, and you pop rounds right through its head. And you start to realize that its jaw snapped off, but it's still coming at you. And then Marshall gets his move now. So what are you doing? You see a robot like approaching Werewolf, and she's in front of you. Like you're in front of the bar. She's behind it through the crack in the wall, and she's between you and the robot. So you gotta shoot over her if you're gonna shoot at the target.
So not my shotgun?
Well, you gotta remember, if you're gonna do that, you gotta take a second to pull your shotgun out, too. The only thing you have out right now is your pistol.
Yeah. Yes.
And friendly fire is in this game, so...
Yeah, actually, since I already have my pistol out, and it's probably less likely to hit her by accident, I use that, and I also aim for its head.
You turn your laser on before you shoot, or are you just raising and firing?
Yeah, I'll turn the laser on.
Alright, so you're raising your weapon, and then all of a sudden, you just hear the laser beam up, and then Becca just hears this thing go off right behind her.
You said my name.
Bollocks. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to notice anyway. Alright, so you raise this weapon up, and you're aiming really hard. I got to roll again to make sure you don't hit anyone.
Yep.
Alright, you definitely don't hit anybody. So you aim, and she's kind of like looking at this bot, and then she sees a giant laser beam over her shoulder. Like she feels like she's Predator with that little laser gun coming out of her shoulder. And it's a giant ass green beam. And then boom! How many shots you taking?
I guess I'll follow up with 7 shots, like she did.
So you're dropping your whole mag. Because your pistol only carries 7 rounds. Unless you have one in the chamber, which I would assume you would. Because that's what the military's trained to do. Because, you know, it's a 7-round magazine. You slap a mag in, then you rack a bullet into the chamber. And then if you reload again, you got a 7-round mag in and 1 in the chamber, which makes 8 rounds.
Okay.
That's military math for you. Alright, so you're popping 7 rounds off.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta make some more rolls now to make sure you don't hit her, because freaking recoil. Ooh. Alright, so as Werewolf sees the laser, the first shot you fire, bang, goes over her shoulder and hits the thing right in the eye, and its eye goes out. And now I gotta make Werewolf take a freaking dexterity save. Alright, where's your character sheet? Alright, nat 20 on top of a dex of 20. Alright, so you duck down because you instantly know what the hell's going on. As soon as you saw that laser come on, you heard that first round, you were instantly hitting the deck. And then you just hear bang, 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 bang. And by the time you look up to see what the hell's going on, you just got shrapnel raining on you. And sparks and metal and shit just flying everywhere. And you notice that he literally carved the robot. Like, he was shooting the head. First round hit the eye, and then he lowered the weapon to compensate with the recoil, and he ended up actually snapping the robot's head clean off. Like, he shot through the neck that many times, where he literally buzzsawed the neck off. So the synth's officially KIA, and so is your commander. And then I gotta make a freaking save real quick. Well, not a save, but a roll. Alright, nothing happened. Alright, so you guys notice that there's a dead synth. And Trinity's, she's starting to look around, actually noticing what the hell's going on. And, yeah, there's a fucking just dead robot sitting there. What are you guys doing with it?
Timmy is the tech expert. Maybe she could do something with it.
I start taking a look into it.
Alright, so you walk over there, and you're tech expert, alright. Alright. Alright, so you look at this thing, and you're like, yep, that's a synth. You don't have any historical background information on it, so you don't have any real extensive information. All you know is that's an assault drone, and it was more than likely built by your military. The keyword is your military. So are you going to share this information? Or?
I share the information.
Alright, so everybody knows now that it's more than likely the United Space. Oh yeah, and are you all outside, or are you just kind of like peering over the bar, looking at this thing?
I'll just be looking over at the thing, I guess.
Well, you don't really get a choice because you're outside already.
Oh.
You walked out with the commander.
Oh.
But are you like actually inspecting the robot yourself, or are you looking around? What specifically are you doing while Trinity's kind of peeking?
I'm trying to make sure there's not like another one in the vicinity.
All right. And what's Marshall doing?
I guess I go back to observing or looking around to make sure or to see if there's any more.
So you walk out with Werewolf, I would take it, like into the city square. Or are you watching your backs? Where specifically are you looking?
Just being observant and trying to spot anything else, if there's anything else.
So you're both rolling perception. Alright, so Werewolf doesn't see anything, but Marshall does. Marshall looks up, and I gotta type. By the way, you guys all know what you're doing right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you actually focusing on the story, or do you just know a robot attacks you and you're wondering what the hell's going on?
I gotta go.
Alright.
So I can. Okay, so I tell them what I see.
I'll play for Trinity then. She wasn't really doing much anyway.
Where'd she go?
She left. She said she got bored and then she left.
Oh.
I take it she's quitting because she wasn't that thrilled about starting this thing anyway, so I'll play for her. Alright, so Marshall, he walked out there with you and he starts scanning around and he actually sees a man with a scoped rifle on the third floor balcony of the apartment building right next to the ISR stock exchange. Like, he's flat out saying, hey, look, there's a guy with a gun, and he's looking right at us.
I think I'm gonna take cover,
And
possibly.
Marshall just saying he doesn't look hostile, he's just kind of, like, standing there observing. But he's not, like, aiming. And he's standing, too, he's not laying down, he's not trying to hide.
I'm just gonna stare back at him.
Could I try to approach him?
You can. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want and just freaking tell me. I won't tell you the outcome of what you do, but it's whatever, you know. It's your story. You going to approach him?
I guess I try.
Alright, are you like watching him as you approach, or are you kind of just like scanning around more?
I guess watching him.
Alright, so as you approach, Werewolf, what are you doing?
I think I might. I don't know. I might follow behind, but like, I'm gonna stay farther away from them, but still follow behind.
Alright, so Trinity just kind of like Dukes Hazard jumps over the bar table, and she starts looking around, and then she sees a dead mech just sitting there, and a bunch of empty shells laying on the floor, and she's like, "Damn, what the hell happened here?" Because she only heard 7 shots fired, she didn't hear freaking 14 shots fired. Quote, quote, a werewolf's got a silencer.
Oh.
But, yeah, so she's just kind of like, yeah, there's a dead mech here. I said this earlier. And then she sees you guys walk off, and she kind of just, like, stands there in the blown up, like, wall right there, watching. She's not really much for following, is she? Alright, so as Werewolf and Marshall approach, Werewolf, you can hear, like, you don't hear this, but you can see his mouth blabbering. And Marshall, I gotta roll. Alright, you can just barely make out what the guy's saying. That's what you could manage to make out until you get closer.
Yes. If I tried to yell something, could he hear me?
You can try.
Okay. I try yelling. We are not. We just want to talk.
He kind of like cups his hand over his ear and like leans up to the balcony a little bit. Like he's not leaning over it, but he's leaning into it kind of. I take it you're still approaching him.
Yeah.
All right. And werewolf, you're not hearing anything still because nobody's talking except for Marshall. And you heard what he said because you're literally like I don't know 5 feet behind him, 7 feet behind him.
Hmm. Wait, what did he say?
I don't remember actually. He said he just wanted to talk, or at least that's what I think he said.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, by now the other guy actually is coming back. You can hear footsteps coming up, and Trinity actually turn around, lost eyes on you guys, and she's kind of like aiming at the doorway as the guy walks in. Freaking Harris. So he kind of came back with the group, but you guys don't know that. Metagame. Cough, cough.
Hmm.
So, Marshall, I take it you're still walking up to this guy?
Yeah.
Alright, so as you approach, he kind of like lowers his weapon and puts on the guardrail. So he's surrendering his weapon practically, and he's looking at you guys, and he starts screaming out even louder. And this time you can actually hear it. I didn't mean to hit you guys. I was just trying to spook you. Typically, those androids are a lot faster to fire than you guys are.
Hmm.
Like, I guess I ask if he has any idea what happened to the place.
Alright, he kind of like looks around at both sides of the road, and then he kind of like waves you over. And then you notice he walks off of the balcony, and then he comes back up with a rollout rope, and he throws it over the balcony, and he ties it up to the ends of it. And he kind of
Okay.
like waves at you guys to come along, and Trinity's kind of like hobbling along, and Harris is just kind of like walking, aiming down his sights, scanning the rooftops. And by the way, I'm just gonna say this right now. Now that the commander's dead, officially, if you were going by rank like the military would go, Marshal would be the next in command. By the way, that's a plot element, so that's kind of what I was expecting you guys to roll with.
Yeah, I was following him anyways.
Alright, so I tell you guys are climbing up this ladder. Or are you guys going to come in through the ground floor, or are you just going to skip this guy altogether and keep moving on?
I climbed the rope he sent down, or ladder, or whatever it was.
He tossed down it's practically a ladder, but it's one of those roll-out ladders that you see on helicopters and stuff. It's
Okay.
like plastic steps, rope, binding it all together.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb that too.
Alright, so you guys go up, Trinity goes up, and Harris stays down there. And he starts looking around, and he waits until you guys get to the top, and then he climbs up. And Trinity is just kind of like looking back, watching them, making sure that nothing goes after him. And the guy with the rifle, he kind of shakes Marshall's hand, sort of, and then he kind of like waves you guys inside, and he walks into the building. He's expecting you guys to follow him. That's the kind of like
Okay.
way he's kind of pushing you guys along.
Um, I think I'll follow with caution.
All right, so you're kind of weary. You're standing by the door watching this guy because as soon as he walked into the building, into the shade, he turned around. He's not like still following, like not following, but walking you guys in. He literally just turned around because he wanted to get out of the open. And you see him. He removes his bandana because he's got. I'll just show you a picture of him. But yeah, he's got a orange bandana that goes over his face. And yeah, he also does have an M4, but he's a sniper. He takes off his bandana and then he looks at you and he says, "I don't know if you guys could hear me back there, but I said sorry about your friend there. I didn't mean to shoot him." Typically, those androids, as soon as I take that first shot, they instantly know where the hell I am, so that's how I tell if you're human or not. Fucking androids. They infiltrated our ranks and started killing us one by one. I'm probably the only remaining officer still here watching over the civvies.
Can I like ask him a question?
Go ahead.
Like, I want to know like what intel he has on these things.
Well, I've only been here 2 years. I kind of know my way around. I've been stationed here for almost as long as I've been here. So, most I can tell you, I practically work the. I'm a grunt, okay? I'm not allowed to know the classified information, but I hear a lot of chatter inside of the lunchrooms and all that in the cafeteria halls. And I've been hearing rumors of some kind of base being set up on the other side of the city. That's a research facility where we're building these mechs and shit like that so they can just lay off all of us military guys and let the robots do all the work. Well, something happened, and when our comms got lost, we tried to send out a distress signal, but nobody came. And then these damn mechs showed up and started killing everybody on the streets. Lost damn near half my men out there, and commanding officer included. So I just kind of took my rifle and started committing hit and run tactics, finding civvies as I go and bringing them all here.
So the androids went rogue.
The commander. Did you say robots or did you say commander?
Robots.
Oh, alright. I'm hearing things. Like, he's saying that as character. I'm not saying that as the DM. I'm saying that in character. Because he's seen a lot of stuff. He's used to the gunfire and stuff, so he's kind of shell-shocked. So, he's like, oh yeah, those mechs, I don't know, they're prototype, they're classified, supposedly, but from the sounds of it, that all sounds like research facility equipment that's supposed to be next to our base. My guess is we probably built them, and whatever it is, it's a well-coordinated terrorist attack. That's my guess. Because what the hell could have reprogrammed these mechs and shot down our satellite arrays just prior? And by now, he's kind of like walking deeper into the building to get away from the open. He does not like to be out in the open because these robots are fucking ridiculous.
I guess I'll follow him.
Alright, so Werewolf kind of gets closer to him. Marshall's just kind of standing there still. Trinity and Harris are actually following him too. So it's just kind of Marshall just hanging there on the in the doorway.
You follow him, I guess.
All right. So you all follow him deeper into the building, and as he's walking, he turns around and he starts walking backwards, talking to you guys. And he completely left his rifle back there, and he completely just forgot about it. And he decides he's gonna rush back out there real quick to grab his rifle, and he runs back to you guys, and he starts walking backwards, talking to you. So what brought you guys here? I mean, our satellite comms are down. How did you guys get a distress beacon? How did you know we were under attack? By the way, this is what the building looks like. Now that you're getting deeper in, because you're going downstairs now, like into a basement-like area. And don't mind the soldiers in the firefight. That's just kind of part of the screenshot. But yeah, that's just what the building looks like. What did you say?
Where are the screenshots from?
Found them on the internet.
Okay.
I just looked up random badass pictures that would fit the environment and the story.
I forget, how did we get the distress signals?
You didn't get any distress signals. You notice.
Wait.
What happened was the commander, he said that there was a communication disruption and all signal was lost to the planet, and the major wanted to know what the fuck was going on because we've been getting comms daily on that planet because it's a newer settlement, and then comms just getting knocked out and we don't have a response at all when we try asking them what's going on. So you guys are shipped down there to see what was going on, to investigate. So the worst is to be expected now, because now you know it's a full-blown attack and it's not just a technological error. Because originally they just thought it was a solar flare and they were overreacting. But the thing is, there's 2 satellites, not 1. So you got any more questions as he's walking you guys down here?
I think I'm gonna answer the guy and say that the comms were knocked out. Decided to check things out down here.
Oh, great. So you don't have a full-fledged recon team. Well, I mean, you guys are a recon team, but you're not a liberation team. You're just about the only remaining fighting force there is, other than me. I mean, everybody else here, if you see anybody armed, they're not trained to shoot. They don't know what a war zone is, except for what they're living right now. These are all civilians out here.
How did things so quickly?
Well, you see, robots can mass produce, unlike people. And next to that, when a majority of your military is disarmed because they think that robots are the way of the future, that seems to fuck everything over, doesn't it? I'm telling you, robot takeovers are the shit. We can't seem to fight them. They're programmed to think. They're programmed to communicate with each other. They're programmed to fucking be the most efficient killing machines out there. These things are meant to end wars. We stationed them on every single planet to keep the peace. And by the way, we're not supposed to know this. We're just grunts. The brass would court-martial us if we told each other this, but I know people on the inside. So, I like to keep this hush-hush, if you have comms at all. But, yeah, after everything got knocked out, I pretty much gathered all the civilians I could, and I waited for a rescue team. Hopefully, somebody would come. Well, if you guys are it, then fuck. And he just kind of like slumps down onto the wall, kind of in a crouched position, kind of holding his head, thinking.
Hmm.
He takes his helmet off and starts wiping his brow with it.
Does he know where the source is? Like, what's controlling them?
My guess is that research facility. I don't know where the hell it is, but my guess probably not far from the base.
Hmm.
I mean, we're not going to put a research facility building top secret weapons in the middle of a city now, are we?
Never know.
Right. 3 days without sleep. Hell, I'll probably be able to take just about anything at this rate. I mean, whatever keeps the morale high. If there is any morale at this rate. He gets back up and he starts walking down the stairs some more. And then you find, because I take it you guys are just following him at this rate, doing dialogue. Yeah. So you guys walk down there and you see a bunch of civilians. There's about like 50 of them walking around. There's mothers and children. There's a couple men, but barely any, because they've all died in the fighting. There's if you guys ever seen the opening of Terminator, it kind of looks like that. There's TVs smashed open with little bonfires in them. There's kids playing, catching rats and stuff. Alright, Marsh. I'll play until you get back. Well, it looks like it's just you and me at this rate, and the stream's still going.
Yeah.
The show must go on, right? I like to at least get halfway through the freaking act.
So how far are we so far?
Almost halfway. Once you knock out the reason for the disruption, then you're halfway through. But this is one of the slower missions, because it's kind of like exposition showing how everything starts. But once we get further in, because the thing is, I tried to make this a really fast chapter because I put a lot of plot pushers, like the commander, because originally Marshall was supposed to be the commander, but I'm like, well, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're all new to the D&D bit. So I gotta have some kind of plot device to move them along. So I'm gonna have this commander telling them what to do and kind of weaving them through. And then I'm going to give him that false sense of insecurity the moment he dies right in front of him.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, because you're literally face to face with the damn killer. Alright, so you're literally looking at the opening scene of Terminator. You got a bunch of people kind of like starving to death. They're all covered in dirt, mud, and blood.
Are they all from the city?
Yeah. They're all refugees. By the way, this is a human colony, but that's just the major concentration. There's a couple aliens here and there too, but...
So should we rest here for a little bit?
If you want to. In all actuality, if I count up how long you guys have been on mission, you guys have been on mission for 3.5 hours.
I don't know.
That's since you were on the overpass. If you count past the overpass, when you first landed, it's been 5 hours.
Oh.
5.5 hours. So it's
Hmm.
past morning now. It's like near noonish. By the way, there's 2 suns on this planet.
Oh.
So there's technically no night. It's kind of like Tatooine on Star Wars.
Hmm.
Ugh.
So we're still following this guy?
Oh no, he's just kind of like standing at the bottom of the staircase looking at the civilians. He's expecting you guys to engage in more dialogue.
Oh. Well, I've engaged in a lot, but...
Yeah, it's because everybody else left.
Hmm.
Trinity's probably bored to the point of where she's going to quit, and Marshall, he seems kind of into it, but he seems bored. Like, I don't know, I'm not that fun of a DM. Like, I have more fun when I write the stories and I get myself so hyped. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be so awesome. And then the people, they don't know what to do, so I throw plot pushers at them, and then by then it's practically just me playing for them. It's either you guys don't do anything or you're under detailed, or I throw plot pushers at you and I'm practically playing your characters then. I need to find the perfect balance, which kind of comes in time when I play a DM, you know.
Well, is this your first time playing as a DM?
No, I've played as a DM multiple times, but this is the only time I've actually played a major campaign as a DM. And actually a scripted freaking game, because every other time I played as a DM, it was always thought up on spot. It was always spontaneous. There was no stories. It was just, oh, you guys have just landed on a deserted island and you guys have no idea what the hell's going on. I didn't even draw a map. I didn't have a story. I didn't have any names or anything written down. It was just kind of all right, let's go as we move along. But this I actually methodically thought out. Like, I don't have a map, but I have a general idea. Like, I have a vision in my mind of what the place looks like. I have the story pretty down pat to where, depending on your decisions, I can manipulate the story later. Because all the acts tie together. Which, at the very end of Act 1, I'm not really spoiling much by saying this, but by the end of Act 1, you can actually gain a potential major advantage later in the story if you do it correctly. But if you choose not to, it could lead to issues, but it can raise security rating. Like, there's always risks and rewards. But yeah, what were you thinking when you heard that the commander died right in front of you?
Well, shocked.
If you wanted to know what I rolled your perception check for, there was 2 things that you could have saw. Either A, you could have saw the sniper standing on the balcony, or B, you could have saw dust coming from the wall right above you. Because what was going on was the mech was actually on the balcony right above you guys, and then he clamped onto the wall. Like, they have spikes on their hands and feet, and he literally stabbed into the wall, and he was hanging off the ledge of the wall, and they jumped down.
I figured he did something like that.
Like, he was doing some kind of Spider-Man crap and just jumped onto the guy. But when he jumped, it wasn't like a tackle. It was more of like a kick in the face and then a twist to the neck.
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah, and the robot wasn't even armed either.
Well, I guess in the story I'm gonna ask the civilians, like, if they know anything, possible details, like how to kill them the best.
None of them have a bloody clue. They just say shoot the shit out of them.
Will do.
They're all civvies. They're not
Hmm.
trained in military tactics, and hell, the freaking. If anything, the damn sniper might know a little bit more. He seems to know quite an awful lot.
Well, I'll ask him that too.
All right, well, he kind of looks at you and he's like, he puts a figuratively a hand pistol right up to his head, and then he moves his thumb down like he's clicking a hammer back, and then he raises his freaking hand up like he's shooting himself in the head.
Oh.
And then he kind of like looks at you and he's like, have you ever seen any zombie movies? You ever watch any robot dictator overlord movies or anything like that? It's all in the head. That's where the central processor is. Computers are ran all the same. They need a processor, a battery, and a graphics core. Well,
Hmm.
the thing is, these are efficient killing machines. They need to be able to scan the environment, and they need to run on batteries. So, I'd say every, I don't know, I've seen so many of them, but you would think after a while they would have to drain their battery and recharge it. So, when you think about it like that, we might have an advantage there. And then next to that, these damn things, they need a processor. Well, the first thing you immediately think is probably hidden up in the brain somewhere.
Hmm. Has anyone ever taken them apart and like looked through them?
Well, I mean, this is classified information, so I don't think anybody would be able to deduce much. If we really want to go back out there and risk bringing one of them in here, I mean, we can, but they might have trackers on them or something. I mean, we can't really trust them.
Hmm. Can't we just examine them out there?
Out there? You kidding me? You saw what that
Hmm.
thing did to your friend? Now imagine how they snipe.
Yeah. See your point. Hmm.
My guess is the only way we're going to get the fuck out of here is either we manage to knock out whatever the hell is causing a disruption with our signal, or we rebuild our satellites, whatever the fuck it takes to get a signal out and get a bigger invasion force.
Hmm.
Or we find whatever the source is of these damn mechs and destroy it.
Which one do you think would be the quickest?
I'm not metagaming,
Hmm.
but I will metagame just for the sake of time because I kind of want to wrap this up because I'm starting to get a little drowsy. But I kind of want to progress a little more. I wrote it so you reestablish comms first before you go and do anything concerning the mechs. And you got to remember what the intel your commanding officer said too, if you recall that at all.
I honestly don't.
Right before he died, when you entered the city, he said that the comms were down. There's probably a jammer.
Oh
Because
yeah.
before you entered the city, he was able to get a signal out. But once you entered the city's districts, he couldn't get any signal through his radio, so he instantly assumed that it was a jammer signal. And the only building that can cover the entire city is the ISR stock exchange,
Hmm.
which is the building right next door.
Oh, then let's head there.
Well, when Marshall gets back, I don't know when the hell he's gonna get back.
Hmm.
By the way, do you know what Tiananmen Square even is?
Not really.
Back in the 80s when China went radical communist and martial law was put in effect, there's
Okay,
this
I'm back.
massacre called Tiananmen Square, which you might have seen footage of it, but you see like 3 tanks in a row driving down like a parade ground and they run this guy over. That was the Tiananmen Square massacre. Hold on.
Oh.
Did you hear me? I'm back.
Yeah, I heard you.
Sorry it took so long.
Here's the picture of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Oh, that event. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
You stand in front of tanks, the tanks are gonna win.
Yeah.
and then this just goes to show the size of the courtyard. That's also Tiananmen Square, but that's in a more modern date.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the size of the compound you had to run through. All right, so she started talking with the commander, and well, not the commander, but the guy that's overseeing everything, the sniper. You still have yet to get a name from him. You never asked.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says that the best way to destroy these things is to pop them in the dome because that's where their processor is located, or he assumes anyway. It seems to work for him. And what he suggests is either you figure out reestablishing comms or you go and destroy whatever the fuck is causing these mechs to show up. And Marshall, you do realize what the commander said before he died, right?
Um,
Like,
what
I
did
don't
he?
know if you're paying attention at all.
I forgot.
Do you know what is causing the interference in the communications?
No.
There's a jammer
Oh yeah, you said that.
because he was outside the city and he can get a clear signal through, but the moment he walked into the city, the radio wouldn't work.
Yeah,
And
that
he
makes sense.
assumed that it was on the ISR compound for the stock exchange because that's the tallest building in the entire city and that's the only building where a signal can cover the entire city for a jammer.
Yeah.
So, just for time's sake, I'm going to make you guys go there.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you the option because fuck you guys. It's freaking 1 in the morning and I kind
I
of
was
want to
gonna
get this
try to
done.
go there, anyways. So
Yeah, the ISR building's literally right next door.
might as well.
So, who's all going?
I'm gonna.
Trinity's going to stay here and meddle with the affairs of the civilians.
Hmm.
Marshall, what are you doing?
Okay. In game.
Yeah.
I guess go to that building.
All right, and Harris is going to join too. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't freaking write this down. Well, I mean, I wrote it down, but I didn't read it off the paper. Yeah. Yeah, I already told you everything on the paper that I wrote, but this is actually scene 3 making contact that you're in right
Oh,
now.
did we skip one?
No, we didn't skip a scene. It's just I didn't tell you guys that you entered a new scene because I wasn't looking at the paper. Because I used the back of it as an initiative sheet, so I didn't tell you guys you entered a new scene. But all right, so you like Marshall and Werewolf are going. Trinity's staying behind, and Harris is moving in, and the sniper's moving in. So Trinity's the only one staying behind because she's lazy. All right, so you guys start moving on, and the only way to get into the stock exchange is actually to go in through the front door. So you guys walk out the front door of the freaking of the apartment complex that you're in, and you literally just like walk right outside and just hug the wall, and you enter into the building. So what's your enter order?
Um,
By the way,
Dave,
this building is extremely medium range, so just a heads up for any shotgunners. Cough, cough.
stay vigilant. We don't know what's in here.
That was a very static voice there. What time is it over there anyway?
10:13 p.m.
Damn, you're 4 hours behind us. I'm tired as hell. For
I could
you,
stay
this
up
is
for a
probably a
couple more.
good day. Alright, so what's the order? Who's going in and all that? Because Marshall, all you did was consider dialogue.
Yeah. I am going, I guess. Wait. Does my pistol have limited ammo?
You don't have unlimited ammo, but you didn't reload yet. And neither did Werewolf. I told you, you gotta remember this kind of stuff. You only have, I'm not gonna tell you. But the gun feels really light.
Mine or his?
His.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna use the ARMA way of telling how much ammo you have left.
I have 23 bullets left.
Damn, we got a sniper over here. Remembers every shot she took. Alright, so as you guys are sitting there inspecting your weapons and bickering around and all that, freaking Harris barges right past you guys and opens the door and runs in there with his AR pulled out. And then so does the sniper. But he goes in there with his M4. He's got his giant scoped rifle on his back. Yeah. And it's not really an M4. It's actually a Badger KS-74. But it's our equivalent to the M4.
Do we follow him?
Well, I mean, half of the party's already inside. You guys are literally just standing in the doorway in the open.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow him.
Alright, so you walk in.
Yeah, I follow too.
Alright, so you all walk in, and then you notice that to your right are the bathrooms, and then you're like in a waiting room, and right in front of you is a bunch of metal detectors leading into a room that has like I wouldn't say cage, but it has a barred fence. It kind of looks like an airport checkout area.
Never been to one.
There's confiscation boxes and stuff.
Yeah, but nobody to confiscate our stuff, so.
Yeah,
Eh.
well. So how you guys moving in?
Does anybody have like an EMP maybe that could short circuit the metal detectors?
I like this guy. He thinks ahead, but he thinks a little too ridiculously.
And
So,
then I'll be
as
done.
you say that, the sniper just kind of like looks at you guys like you're a couple dumbasses, and he literally just hops the table over it.
I'm gonna follow him in that case.
You don't have to go through the freaking metal detectors. You can literally just hop over the short little wall next to it.
I've never been to one, so I wouldn't know.
I just go over the wall then.
Alright, so Harris does the same thing, and you all start approaching this giant, like, metal barred up wall with a couple slits in it, like doorways. And Harris and the sniper kind of like walk in, doing zigzag motions, getting in there, doing their little breach. And you notice that, you notice through the bars before walking in that it's a giant kiosk room. Like there's a bunch of computer terminals just littering the freaking floor, and you can figure that's the main stockbroker's location. Yeah. Hold on, let me look up a picture. This is what it would look like. Just subtract the people and make it all war-torn looking. And it's more blue. More blue and black, and less white and greens.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna look around and make sure nothing's like watching us.
By the way, the sniper has no clue what the hell you guys are doing. You haven't explained to him why you came here.
I guess I start explaining stuff.
Alright,
And
so he kind of like tries to hush you, but he's nodding at the same time as he's listening to you. And he points upward. I don't know if you guys are going to look to see what he's pointing at or if you're just staying on your guard.
I'm gonna
I
look.
look.
Alright, so you both look up and you see a catwalk above you leading up to a hatch on the roof.
Wait, what is it?
It's a catwalk. Please tell me you know what a catwalk is.
I know what a catwalk is.
Is it like those, yeah, I think I know what it is. I don't know how to describe it, but I know what it is.
It's a metal floor that's dangling above you.
Yeah.
Like, it's held up by ropes and pulley systems and stuff.
It's like you've seen stuff like taking place in a theater.
It's
you know
like
the people who like raise curtains from that metal walkway up above.
it's practically a bridge that's inside. It hangs above people. Like, if you ever been to like a play, there's usually the guy with the lights and stuff. He stands on top of a catwalk.
That's sort of the example I was giving.
I feel sorry for her having to explain her what a catwalk is.
I haven't been out in the world. I've literally lived under a rock half my life.
Yeah, I think we realized this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I felt really awkward trying to explain to you what Triple X was.
I don't get why they named it that.
XXX girls, girls, girls.
I still don't. I don't want to know, okay?
Yeah, there was this author that came into the school and he's like, "Oh yeah, my first book was Fantasy Warlords XXX." And then she asked, "Well, what does Triple X mean?" And then he's like, any teenage boy inside this room, go ahead and answer that question for her." It's freaking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
But being the big bad boyfriend and all that, I kind of felt obligated to tell her, but I felt horrible in doing so.
Probably
Anyway,
why Zach laughed at me when I said that.
yeah. Alright, so moving on. So he points up at the catwalk above you. The ghost seems clear practically. Harris is kind of leading.
So why did he point?
Harris didn't point, the sniper did.
Oh.
Like, he stops and he, like, points upward. And you guys kind of, like, look up along with him.
Do we see anything?
You see the catwalk.
That's
what
it?
he was pointing at, yeah. He was signifying that there's a way up.
Oh. Thought it was gonna be like mechs or something.
No.
I guess I start looking for a way up.
Well, Harris is already on it. There's a ladder in the corner of the room. It's next to the CCTV, the security lounge. So he starts walking over to the CCTV lounge. I don't know what you guys are doing.
I start trying to go up to the catwalk.
All right, so you walk over to the ladder, and I take it you're going to climb it to get up there.
Yeah.
All right, so you start climbing. This may take a little bit, so I'm going to skip like a turn or two of yours. What's a werewolf doing over there?
I think I'm gonna keep following them.
All right, so you're starting to get near to the wall, and you're kind of right underneath Marshall now. The sniper kind of like walks back, and then he stacks up right next to Harris. Like, Harris is trying to lockpick this door, and the sniper's to his right on the corner because there's like a little booth right there for the security staff. So he's stacked up on the wall there, and then you're like, hold on. There's like a L. I might be able to draw this for you. All right, here we go. All right. So 1 is the sniper, 2 is Harris, 3 is werewolf, and 4 is Marshall as he's climbing up the ladder. But from where the 1 is, from where the sniper is, that line right there where it just ends, it would cut left. Like another 90-degree angle. Because that's the corner of the booth. And then where the wall ends on the bottom right, it would go up. Because that's like the corner of the room.
So it's basically like just a giant square.
Yeah, practically. It's not really a giant square. It's like a 10-foot little area. But you're all kind of congested in there. Like, if somebody chucked a grenade, you would all be dead.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's how close you guys are. But it's tactical enough to where if something walked through, unless it saw, like, it wouldn't see any of you, but if it saw one of you, it would see all of you practically.
Huh?
Like, you're all pretty well hidden. Alright, so Marshall is nearing the top as Harris actually gets the door open. He opens it and walks in. The sniper kind of like stays where he is. He's still looking around. What's Werewolf doing?
I'm gonna go near the door, but I'm not gonna go in. I'm just gonna go right to the right
The
next
other
to
side
it
of it.
and guard it, I guess.
All right, so you get right up on the corner there, and like you practically take 2 steps to your left. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
I mean, from the sketch I sent you, that's practically what it sounds like you're doing.
Well, I might as well.
Huh. All right, so you do that, and then you hear from the inside of the room, you hear a bunch of jingling, like I don't know if you can hear that in my mic or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you hear a Velcro open up, like you hear shit, and then you just hear the jingling continue more.
Hmm.
All right, so Marshall reaches the top, and from up there, I take it you're gonna like, I don't know what you're gonna do up there. There's a, if you move to your right, you're in the corner, or if you move to your left, you can see another ladder that leads higher up, which will take you about 8 turns to climb, because that takes you directly to the roof. That's the skylight.
Okay. I guess first I scope out the area.
All right, so you look and you don't really see anything. Like, you see that there's a spark flashing in the left side of the building, but that's because the TV was shot out and it's still sparking because there's electricity going through it. Other than that, there's really nothing moving or out of the ordinary.
Okay. So then I guess I start going up to the roof using the second ladder.
All right, so you start making your move on the second ladder, even though nobody's on the catwalk yet. All right, so Werewolf, what are you doing?
I think I might check out the room with the jingling and the Velcro.
All right, so you walk in there, and you see Harris. He's just stuffing his pockets full of ammunition because he opened up the arms locker inside, and he's taking all the shotgun shells. He's taking all the pistol and rifle ammunition, just cramming his pockets full. And then he turns around, and then you just see him typing away on a computer as he's looking up. Like, the monitor isn't right in front of him, but it's above him on the wall. And you can see different boxes of camera footage flashing. You don't have a bloody clue what he's looking at, but you just know he's looking at different cameras. And the sniper, like, kind of backs up away from the corner, and then he gets into the room with you guys. And by the way, once you step into the room, directly to your right, because you're in a booth, there's a giant, like, window right in the center of it all. Yeah, but it's a bulletproof window, so... You can tell it's bulletproof, too, because you can see, like, bullet marks.
Wait, what? You're lagging.
To your right, there's a bulletproof window that practically fills up the booth, and you know it's bulletproof by the fact that there's bullet holes in it.
Oh.
Like, you can see where the fiber and the plastics and stuff were bent from the bullets.
Always reassuring.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hmm. So what do we do now?
Oh, that's kind of up to you. Marshall's
Oh.
almost on the freaking roof by now. And you got Harris who's just hacking away at this computer, and the sniper's just kind of backing him up.
Hmm.
The sniper actually just walked out of the room now. He's actually climbing up the ladder now.
I'll follow him.
Alright, so you follow him, and then you hear, "Holy shit!" come from the freaking, the booth that you just left.
I'll go back in now.
Alright, so you walk in and you see Harris just kind of like backing up, eyes opened up wide. His mouth is kind of like ajar as he's looking at all this CCTV footage, and you have no idea like which one specifically he's looking at, but you just know that he's getting a whack reaction out of it.
Can I walk up behind him and like look over his shoulder and see what it is?
You can walk up next to him
Oh yeah, that'd
because
be
there's a
easier.
table. There's a table right behind him. So unless you're getting up behind the table,
No, I'll just walk up next to him.
so you walk up next to him, and then you notice that there's a literal group of people, like actual people, not mechs, running through the building, firing at people.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're brandishing Kalashnikovs,
Oh what?
AK-47s.
Oh.
That's our weapons today. What the Russians are using, what the Afghanis are using, every terrorist country that America hates. Well, I mean, that's practically
Oh.
how you put it. That's the bad guy weapon, quote unquote.
Hmm.
In America's view.
Eh.
If we were over there, we'd say the M4 is the bad guy weapon. So yeah, you're watching this footage and you're like, what the hell are those? Because you got to remember, this is like a couple of centuries later. So the fact that people are using AKs is kind of like us using swords in combat still.
You do know who you're talking to, right?
Would you really go against a tank with a sword?
I'd have to think about it.
That's the kind of combat this is. It's not
Well.
like, ooh, lasers versus swords. No, it's like tanks versus swords.
I don't know, a sword could win.
But yeah, these are actual people. They're not robots running through. And you can tell that they're people because they're bleeding. A couple of them are. Like, they got scrapes and stuff underneath their faces.
I guess I'd like, I don't know. I'm like just in shock, I guess.
Alright, well, you have no idea what the hell to think, really.
I know.
Because you were never put in a situation like that to think about. Alright, so you just, like, witness this footage. You guys getting practically massacred. The sniper just really doesn't give a fuck, and he's still climbing up to the roof. And Marshall, by now, is literally opening up the skylight. Poor Marshall. He's literally just sitting here listening to the shit that you're doing at this rate.
Yeah, I guess.
But you gotta remember this. Once you get up there, now she's gonna have to wait until you're done doing all your crap because she's gotta climb all the way up there.
Yeah.
But her dexterity's higher, so you should be able to climb it faster. You have a dexterity of 15. She has a dexterity of 20, which is the maximum you can go to.
Yeah. And I'm also really weighted down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a freaking shotgun, a 50 caliber assault rifle, and a futuristic Desert Eagle, I guess you could say.
Wow.
Heavy armor.
Well, you gotta think of it this way: your pistol and your assault rifle both take the same round. Yeah. All right, so I don't know what you guys are doing. He's still sitting there typing away at this computer. He's trying to find more.
I guess I better start up the ladder. Or walk out of the room and start up the ladder.
All right, so you start climbing. Marshall gets to the top, and the sniper is already on the second ladder, working his way up. And then I take it everybody's just kind of like climbing ladders now at this rate, so I'm just gonna progress time a little bit. So Marshall's on the roof. The sniper is like practically right up on his ass now, and then Werewolf is starting on the second ladder, and then Harris is starting on the first ladder now. So Marshall, you're up on the rooftop. You see this giant ass, like, I don't know how to describe it. You just see this giant pile of mechanical trash sitting in front of you. You have no idea what in the hell it is, but it has a nice antenna on it and it's beeping.
Oh. I guess, could I scan it?
What do you mean, scan it?
Or can you repeat what you said?
You see a giant, like, technological turd. You have no idea what the hell it is. You just know that it has an antenna and it goes beep.
Yeah. Yeah, I meant, is there a way to like scan it to see if you can like figure out what it is?
You have no idea what it is. Like, you've never seen this. It looks so homemade, you have no idea what the hell it is. But while you're looking at it, you see a bunch of wires, you see a bunch of mechanical shit wrapped around it, you see an antenna, but you don't see a timer. So you would assume it's not a bomb. Or at least a time bomb, anyway.
Just have her tech expertise here.
What now?
I said, Timmy didn't follow us, so we don't really have her tech expertise.
Well, you have Harris. He's a hacker, too.
Oh, I guess I asked him if he can see or if he can figure out what it is.
Well, he's still working his way up the ladder. So the sniper gets up there, and he immediately looks at what it is, and he's like, fuck if I know what that is. I do not want to deal with it right now. And he walks over to the ledge of the building, and he deploys his rifle with his bipod, and he starts like scoping out the courtyard down below. And then Werewolf gets up there, and what's she doing? What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna try tinkering with it.
So you walk over there, and you're like, fuck, technology. I think I recall something about the commander saying a jammer here, but honestly, this just looks like a trash can. It looks like a trash can with a wire sticking out of it. And it's going beep, and I don't like beep. Beep scares me. That's literally how you're acting, too. Like, your character's just kind of like freaking out. Because you're a blades expert, you're not used to this technological bullshit.
Well, I don't know why I don't just stab it.
Do you want to?
I don't know. Kinda, but I'm scared of stabbing something important.
Alright, so Harris gets up there, and then he's like, get the fuck out of the way. He just like shoves you out of the way. And then he looks at it, and then he goes into his OPAC systems, which are still online. Like, they're not, I don't know how to say this. They work, it's just they're not online. Like, there's no communications going in or out. And he ends up popping a hatch on the top of it. And then he has this little black tray thing with a disc in it, and he slides it into his arm. And it shows CCTV footage on his arm of the soldiers that went through and started massacring everybody. And they ran up there and they put this device here. And then they start speaking in a language you don't understand. Spoiler. And then they go back down. They just leave it there. This was 3 days ago.
Wait, is that when all this started?
That's when you lost communications.
So, can I stab it yet?
Do you want to?
I don't know. Kinda really want to stab something, but you know, it might be important, so I guess I won't.
Well, Harris kind of like creeps up on it. And then he looks at his arm again. Alright, so he leans in and he looks at this keypad sitting there. And he starts typing a couple numbers into it. And then he starts talking to himself. Like, you can hear him repeat a series of numbers. He's like, 5, 4, 4, 3. Fuck! Can't make out what the hell he's typing. And he's like squinting into his little wristband trying to fucking figure it out. And then he takes a wild ass guess. 6, 1, 4. The beeping continues. Well, whatever I just did, nothing happened. This is a jammer, alright. I'll tell you that. They set this up right when comms went down.
Would it still be jamming everything if I, like, slashed it in half, possibly?
No, it wouldn't, but it probably wouldn't be the greatest to do with your blade. I mean, the wires here are metal, so they're coated. They're coated in metal. That way they couldn't easily be destroyed by shrapnel. I mean, if you wanted to get really ridiculous, you could slash the shit out of it, but all you got is a freaking dagger. So, you don't have a sword.
Yeah.
So, Harris, like, kind of just, like, leans back, and then he takes his x-ray goggles and puts them on. He takes a quick glance at the whole internal system of this thing, and then he takes his goggles off, and then he flicks this little poker chip out of his wrist, and then he just slaps it right onto the machine, and then you see him dinking around with his wrist. And the sniper at this rate, he literally turns and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Hurry the hell up and let's get off this damn roof." And he's sitting there typing away, and he's like, 1 minute. And then you hear beep, 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 beep coming right out of his wrist. And then you just hear, like, you just hear the whole power grid just turn right back on. So now everything is back online. Or at least you think.
Mission accomplished for this part anyways.
Yeah, for reestablishing comms. And that was the boring part of the act. That was a whole lot of just exposition and walking around and shit. but the next part's going to be a lot more action based and a lot more getting shit done because this is when once you establish comms, things get a lot more heated really quickly.
Huh.
Like this whole section was based on survival. The next part is about starting freaking full-fledged war.
Well,
But yeah, that's for scene 4. But for now, I'm done. I'm not gonna try to do scene 4 because if I do, it's gonna be like 5 in the morning by the time we finish.
yeah. And I got a game to do tomorrow.
Oh, you're actually going to
So
that?
we're stopping for tonight,
Yeah.
or for the morning. I guess it is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stopping. I don't want to do this anymore right now. It's my eyes hurt, my stomach's been bubbling for the last hour now because I haven't been getting any sleep. I honestly feel sick to my stomach, but I kind of digress. I want to get this done. I want to get some entertainment value out, and I want to get to a point where you feel like you accomplished something and we can leave off with a good enough cliffhanger. Because I'm not gonna like go halfway into freaking initiation and end it. I mean, roll your initiatives, guys. All right, so you go first, you go second, and oh yeah, we're done. No, I kind of want to leave off on a note where you actually have finished something. And we got 30 seconds before I end the broadcast because in 30 seconds we'll have 2.5 hours of footage.
Okay.
So, any last words, guys?
Hexametaphosphorite.
Vigilio Confido?
And as
Remember,
al-
Commander, we are always watching.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Tally ho. And we are out.